So hello everyone and welcome back. In the previous lecture we have learned about data types, constants and variable. In today's class we will learn about few programming basics, that is how to take input, printing outputs, and then in the next section of the video we will learn about the conditional statement, that is the if-else statement and the nested if-else statement. So let's begin with today's class, which is the programming basics and how to take inputs in C++. So for taking inputs in C++, the C keyword cin is used. The keyword which is used is called cin. I hope you can see it. It is called cin, and the header file iostream.h is to be included in the beginning of the program. We have already mentioned it in the previous section that how to include the header files, that is using the hash include iostream.h like this in the first statement of the program, which is called the preprocessor directive. It directs the compiler to invoke the iostream.h library, which contains the signature of the cin, that is the input and the output statements. Okay, so let's do it again. Input to C++ is taken using the keyword cin. The header file iostream.h should be included, and the syntax for taking input is as follows. See here, the keyword cin is mentioned, followed by the right-handed angular bracket, twice it is given, and then the variable name which we are accepting from the user. It can be an integer, data type, anything. So cin, then followed by true angular brackets towards the right, variable name, then the statement terminator, that is the semicolon. Now in this way we take input in C++. Now let's learn how to take output or print output in C++. So let's move printing outputs in C++. So let's see. In C++, the output is printed by using the keyword cout. The header file iostream is again the same, should be included, and the syntax is as follows. Now see the syntax over here. Cout, this angular brackets towards the left, and then the variable name followed by the statement terminator. So how does this work? We'll just type cout, then the variable name which we want to print, and then the statement terminator. It's quite simple as that. Remember to include the iostream.h library or the header file and use of keyword cout. So in this way we print output in C++. Now let's understand this in our IDE or the compiler. So let's see. So this is our IDE VS Code. So let's start. The first line will be the header file, which is the hash include iostream. Okay. Next line we will write a comment using 2 double slash. This is the comment which makes the program more readable by the user. So I am typing the comment, that is that this header file helps in input and output. Followed by that I will write the int main, which is the entry point after writing the using namespace standard namespace std. You need to write this to tell the compiler that we are using the standard namespace. After that the int main, which is the main function. After that the brace opens. Then we will write a comment over here. This is the main function where the execution of the program starts. Okay, now we will declare a variable int a. We are taking the input of integer type, and for our understanding we just print a statement where the compiler will ask us to enter the value of variable a or enter a number, anything. Okay, so now we will write cin, then towards the right angular brackets, then the variable a which we are inputting. Okay, after that we will print the value of the variable which we have asked from the user. So like this, the value of variable a entered by the user is, then after that the brace, again the angular brackets, and then the statement terminator, that is the semicolon. Okay, so for better output like this. So let's comment it again. This line shows the value of a entered by the user. Okay, now our program is good enough to run. So let's run it from the corner side, right handed corner. So let's see. So here it is asking enter a number. Let's enter 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, press enter and see the value of variable entered is 1 2 3 4 5. So this is our output which is coming. So in this way we take input and print output in C++. Okay, so let's move to the conditional statements. C. Conditional statements in C++ means the if-else statements. Okay, now here I can show you the syntax of if-else statement, that is if condition 1, the statements to be executed if the condition 1 is true, else, and followed by that within the braces or in the block, the statement to be executed when the condition is false. Now what does this mean? Suppose I have to compare two numbers, say A and B. In condition 1 I write if condition 1 and inside the brackets we write A is greater than B, A greater than B. So it's a question mark or the decision making statement where the compiler will find out whether A is greater than B according to the input given by the user. If that statement is true, then the block under the if statement is executed. Otherwise, if it is false, the else block will be executed. It will not read the statements under the if condition if the condition is false. So this was about the if else statement. Now let's understand what is the nested if else statement. Okay, so nested if else statement is a bigger version of the if else statement. See here, more if can be integrated in the same if else block. Now see here the first condition, first statement, see here, if condition 1. That means if condition 1 is true, the statements under this block, that is between these two braces, will be executed. Okay, if this is true. If not true, then this condition will be checked. Else if condition 2 is true. If condition 2 is true, then these statements will be executed. Else if both these blocks are false, then this else block can be executed. Now in this way you can integrate multiple else if after this. So but you have to end with else. See, after this if there is one else if. Now if you want to add much more conditions over here, you can also change this to else if and then you have to write else. It will be if, else if, and in the end else. This is called the nested if else statement, where multiple if else statements is nested or integrated within the same block. So this was about the conditional statements in C++. Now let's understand this in our compiler or IDE. See, here I've already made the prerequisites. Now let's see. So we will declare variables A and B, okay, as integer data types. So let's see. So here we will compare two variables whether they are greater than A or B, are greater than or equal to each of them. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so commenting is done. It makes the program much more readable by the user or anyone who is viewing it. So we will just see out a statement whether the user will be asked to enter the value of variable A or B. Okay, see here this statement. After that it is asking for Cin, after that A. So here I am copying this statement and pasting it and changing the value of A to the value of B. Okay, then we will input B from the user, and now it's time to compare the value of A and B. So we will start with if A greater than B, then just a mistake. Okay, let's open the brace. Okay, C out. This means A is greater than B, obviously, right? So we'll write A is greater than B. Right, now statement terminator as per our format, A is greater than B. Okay, now let's print the number A, okay, which will make the program much more well established. Okay, and this is the statement terminator semicolon. Okay, now if this is not true, if B is greater, okay, then in that case C out B, this will print the value of B, and then within quotes will be printed as a statement B is greater. So if that if block is not true, the else block is executed or else block is actioned by the compiler. See, this is the expression 1 or the condition, anything you can say, and this is the expression if the if block is false. Part to be executed if the condition 1 is false. Alright, so our code is good enough to run. So let's see. Condition is false. So full stop. A full stop over here. So code is good enough to run. So let's see. So here it is asking us for the value of A. Let's enter anything. 30. Value of B, 60. So 60 is greater than B. That's quite obvious. So in this case, see, the else part is executed. Why? Because 30 is A is less than B and B is greater. So the else part is executed. Okay. Now if you want to check the if block, see, 30 is greater. Now in this case, the A is greater than B, so the if block is getting executed. Okay. Now the purpose of our program is not fulfilled, because if you see the question, it asks us whether they are equal or not. We have to also check that. So for that, we will do nothing. We will just add another condition that B is greater than A. If B is greater than A, then it will print Cout B is greater. Else, then no other condition persists, then it is obvious that both the numbers are equal. We will print equal numbers. So this is the example of nested if else statement. So let's see how it runs. So here it is asking us for the value of A, 10. Okay, again the value of B, 10. So in this case, equal numbers are entered because neither B nor A are greater, both are equal. See here. Now if you need to check now the else if part is working or not, for that let's make B greater number. Okay, let's run the code again. So here enter value of A, 10, and here let's do 20. See, the else if block is now getting executed because B is greater than A. So this way we perform the nested if conditional statements. Now we will practice some codes in C++. So these are few homework codes for you. In the next video I will give up the solution. You can take a screenshot of this. See, the first program says input two numbers, find the difference, sum, products, quotient and remainder. So you have to take input two numbers from the user, then you have to find the sum of them, difference of them, product of them, quotient of them, then remainder. Okay. After that, input the principal, time rate, find simple interest amount. Quite simple. Input two numbers, swap them without using third variable. You have to enter two numbers, say A is 10, B is 20. Now after entering, you have to print that B is 10 and A is 20. Okay. This can be without using third variable. I will show it. Okay. This first one will be with showing first variable, and this next one is without using third variable. If you cannot do, I will show you in the next video. Okay. Now the fifth program asks us input a number and find its reciprocal. This is quite simple, 1 by the number. Okay. So you practice these sums, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Keep coding. Happy coding. Thank you.